how to create a nozzle action in Photoshop. Nozzles don't exist in Photoshop, so it's a faked up nozzle. It looks very similar to the one like in Painter or Picture Tubes in PSP. The key panels for this are in the window menu, layers, paths and actions. To start with, just quickly go and create a path because you won't be able to use the fill command. So create the path first. It can be a very basic path. So just go to the curvature tool, select that, and then just apply on the document. There. Make certain it's path. You can see in the top left, it's set to path. And just click the document, just go around and add your path. Now you can change path later. I'm going to show you how to do that. And that's what the long path, it's a script. So now go to the actions, that's the actions panel, and go to the right side menu or the plus at the bottom of the panel, and it will just save that action. So right side menu and new action. Give it a name and click record. First step, I'm going to put it on a layer. So layer and new layer. Click OK. Right, so that's the first step. So you've got a new layer. What you can then do is go to the edit menu and fill. Now you could do multiple fills within this, and of course you could apply other effects and do much more. I'm just using one fill in this case. Set it to contents to pattern, and you can see the design I'm going to use. Now I could use any design. I'm just going to use a very basic circle that's created in grey. Created using the brush tool. Now I created an earlier video, previous video to this, that shows you all the steps. So select one of those designs. I'm just going to select the circle, as I mentioned. Make certain the script is on. Place the long path, that's on. And now just click OK. And set the scale to fairly low, 0.1. It's as low as you can go. The preview doesn't match the end result, so. And also set the spacing. Now I'm using, can use -100, -200. I want it fairly close. You can shift that slightly if you wish, up to you. Now you can use the adjust spacing to fit. You can use all the other settings if you wish as well. That's what I'm just going to go with. And I'm going to go with scale progression because I want it to grow. I want to get it a bit bigger, but not too much. So 100.9, 100.5. Also color randomness set to 1. Click OK. Now that action is stored. That's it. That pattern is stored. So that action will be just using that pattern. What you can then do, you can convert it into a smart object, that whole design, or you can also just go to layer and layer style, bevel emboss. Just gives it a nice three-dimensional effect if you want that. Don't have to have that. So there's your layer there, layer style. Using smooth, depth, very hard to see because you can't change the size of the panel. Depth. Just tweak the values. Size, depth, soften, the angle. You can change the gloss contour, change the colours, all those sorts of things. Also, you can add a drop shadow if you wish as well. You can run through all the contours. Personally, the first one's just fine, but you can create your own contour as well. You can also change the angle. Once you're happy with that, click OK. Now you've got your design there, you've got your style applied. And you could, of course, use the styled panel as well. That's another option. So all those steps have been saved. Final step, layer menu and smart objects. Convert to smart object. So the whole thing is a single smart object. The smart objects means you can use it with smart filters. You can also use adjustments. Now stop it, just go down to that square at the bottom of the actions panel, click stop. Now you've got that action. Now you can run it again and again and again, but you can change the path. You can also, it's a layer as well, it's on a layer, so you can move that layer away. You can tweak it in many ways as well. You can apply effects to it, adjustments to it, recolor it, shrink it, warp it. So I'm just going to move it out of the way for a bit. But the path you've still got there, that blue path is still there. You can manipulate that. Use the curvature tool, just go over to the curvature tool, click on that line and just drag it around. Move points, remove points as well. Extend it a bit more. And there's many tutorials about the curvature tool on the Graphicxtras channel. You just tweak that, change that. Once you're happy with everything, just press escape. And then just go back to the action. Press run. Just run it, play it. Takes a few seconds and then you've got your new design. So another lovely sort of strand appearing or nozzle appearing. Maybe not as easy as just applying a brush stroke to create the effect, but it's still quite effective. So you can just drag those out, drag those around, move that around, or just get rid of the path completely and add a new path. And sometimes if it's not right, you can always undo. Because I know I create paths and I apply this effect and it just looks terrible. It's too extreme. It's not what I want. You can just undo. And you can delete the path as well. And you can remove the layer. That's the key thing. It's a layer. So you can undo it. You can just get rid of it. Make it not visible. Maybe make a very short path. A couple of points. Maybe apply multiple paths separate from each other. So press escape, create another path, and then apply that. The result's not good, you can always undo again. See your path there, selected. That's the key thing, and then just run the action. And you can keep doing that just over and over again, just adding additional designs. Now, of course, at the moment, that pattern design is the only one used for that one, for that action. But you can always go and create another action with another design. So you could build up a selection of actions. Go back to the path again. I'm just going to get rid of those. Maybe this time just straight lines. Basically a very, very simple line. Escape again, just click, 2 points, escape, 2 points, escape. Now go back to the action. Now they're all layers, like I say, you can remove them at any point. Press play. And there they are again. And of course, what you can then do, you can still manipulate those paths. So if you want it curved now, obviously the path the layer that's been generated doesn't move. That would be a nice feature, but it doesn't. It's not a live effect. And then just play again. And you can manipulate it over and over again. And once you've got these layers, all these layers can be modified in many different ways or duplicated. So you can just hold down the Alt or Option key, drag, generate additional copies of that layer. You can also apply effects to that layer. So that layer can be turned into an oil paint effect. Or you can apply adjustments to recolour it. And you can keep layering and applying different nozzle effects all the time, just to add more and more. And again, like I say, it's just a layer. Just move it around. You can also use transformations. So just go to the Edit menu and transform them. So you can build up multiple layers. And they can all be then selected all in a single smart object if you wish as well. I say, go to Filter menu, Stylize and Oil Paint. Turn it into a small oil paint effect. Or blur it. Or maybe add additional styles to it as well. Maybe another bevel. So Edit menu and Transform. And you could rotate, distort, perspective, or warp. Just warp those lines backwards and forwards. You can also right click and add a split warp. And then warp. There. Just drag it and distort it in all kinds of ways. Or use liquify. Press return. I've only shown one example of an action, but you can create multiple actions with different patterns, as long as you don't save the path. That's the key thing. Don't save the path, otherwise it's limited. As the end result is a smart object, you can always go back and change a number of things. You can also combine those smart objects into multiple smart objects. The end result smart object can also be used as a nozzle itself. So you can go and define that design as a pattern and then use it as a nozzle action. I hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphicxtras channel, always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. Please add a comment or two. Also, please add a dislike or like. Thank you much.